Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about the process that is used to build a decision tree. And we call it a greedy approach. So basically, a greedy approach, you might have studied about the greedy approach in other courses as well. A greedy approach is a technique where you make locally optimal decisions to finally come to a solution. So what does that mean for a decision tree? Basically, what we do in a decision tree is that we recursively divide our nodes in order to get the decision that we are looking to get. Okay, so let's take a look at this a bit more closely. So you would start with the root node, okay, which is basically your entire data. And then what you want to do is, like in the example of whether you should go out to play or not, the decision you want to make is that yes, it makes sense to go out, or no, it doesn't make sense to go out. So what you're going to do is you're going to look into your data and you will choose the attributes which will help you make a better decision. Okay, so at every point when you want to split a node, when you're growing the decision tree, you will do that based on how well does the split help you separate out the yes from the no's. Okay, basically. So what's going to happen is that we will start with the root node and we will recursively keep on dividing the tree and keep on creating sub branches till finally we are happy with the decision that we are making. Okay, and this is something you also saw in the example of choosing the glasses for you to wear. You start with the entire list of customers who come to the website. You ask them a question about their gender. You separate them out into two branches. Then you further ask them a question about maybe the shape of their face. You further divide them into sub branches, and you continue to do that till you are happy with the recommendation that you're making. So essentially, in a decision tree, you are using the greedy approach because you keep on dividing the tree repeatedly into sub branches till you are happy with the decision making process that you have come up with. So you may wonder that when do you know that it's time to stop splitting? And these are what are known as the stopping conditions for a split. So what happens is that in case, let's say you split the node and as a result you get a pure node. So what I mean by pure node is basically when all the observations belong to the same class. So for example, in the case of going out to play or not, when all the records that you have in a given node correspond to a value of no, then you know that it doesn't make sense to split any further. The other reason could be that there are no remaining attributes which could further help you split. Okay, or maybe the number of observations in a node have become lesser than a threshold and you don't want to split further. So those are some of the stopping conditions which can help you decide when to stop splitting a decision node further. Now, sometimes when you split a decision node, it could be what is known as a multi-way split versus what is known as a binary split. So a multi-way split is, for example, when you use the marital status and then the values were single, married and divorced. If you want to create all three of those as your sub nodes, then you will get 3 child nodes as a result of that. Then basically it's a multi-way split. Versus if you wanted to create a binary split, you can combine 2 of the values of marital status, like in the examples given here, when you have combined single and divorced into one, or you could have combined married and divorced into the other. So basically those are some examples of the ways in which you can split based on a categorical attribute such as marital status in our example. So on this slide, I want to talk about how do you split based on a continuous attribute. So let's think of the example where we were trying to separate out people who cheat on their taxes versus those who don't. And we know that taxable income, which is a continuous numeric variable, was one of the attributes. Now, as you know, taxable income can be in thousands and it has a wide range. It's a numeric attribute. So there can be a binary split, like in this example, where you choose 80k and you will say that, okay, I'm going to say less than 80 and greater than 80,000. That's one way to do it. Or you could even create a multi-way split where you say people whose taxable income is less than 10,000 go into one bin, people whose taxable income is between 10 to 25,000 go into another bin, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the ways in which you can use continuous attributes to split your decision note. So before I end this video, I want to talk about a very important property or something to keep in mind when building a decision tree. Okay, so we know that for every decision note there are multiple options that we have. So how do we decide that which attribute should we choose to split a particular note? And that is basically saying that how do you determine the best split? Okay, in order to decide the best split, we basically try out different attributes and then we analyze the properties of the child nodes after the split. But what is it that we are looking for in the child node that will help us decide the quality of the split that has happened? Basically, this is where we start talking about the impurity or the purity of a node. So let's think of the example where there were cheats and people who did not cheat. So there was yes, somebody cheated, and no, somebody did not cheat. So if you look at any given node, okay, a mixed node such as the one here, okay, now it has, let's say if C0 and C1 were the two values of the outcome class variable, and you see that in a given node there are 5 observations with C0 and 5 observations with C1, then this is basically what is known as a mixed node and it has a high degree of impurity. Okay, so what's going to be a more pure node, or the one that has low degree of impurity? Look at this example here. Out of the 10 observations in the decision tree decision node, 9 belong to class 0 and 1 belongs to class 1. And if I asked you which node is more impure, you're going to say that this node is more impure because it has 50% observations of one class and 50% observations of another class, so it has a high degree of impurity. Whereas this other node, which has 90% observations of a particular class and only 10% observations of another class, has a low degree of impurity. And sometimes to indicate high degree of impurity, we use the term non-homogeneous, and to indicate low degree of impurity, we use a term known as homogeneous. So basically we can say that this particular node is more homogeneous and this particular node is non-homogeneous and has a high degree of impurity. So basically, in order to determine the best split, we will measure the impurity of a node. And in order to measure the impurity of a node, there are specific mathematical measures that can help you do that. And in the next video, I will be talking about a measure of impurity which is called entropy, which will help us decide that which attribute is the one that will help you give the best split for a given decision node.